Welcome to the Stars in the Making with the mission to inspire and frame the future. On this episode, we cover the underdog story of the pro bare knuckle fighter Zach Calmus, aka Shark Attack. I was raised in Marblehead and moved to Gloucester as a teen. Started boxing early in life in the Immature Boxing USA, and I eventually won the Golden Gloves. Growing up, my life weren't all roses. I suffered bullying. Fighting was something that I always loved to do. Despite my mother being against it, I had my dad by my side in every fight supporting me. As a pro fighter, I believe in life you have to choose what you are willing to fight for and conquer. It's all on you, not your parents. Everything I had to overcome, I channel into something positive to inspire someone along the way. That's why many times when I got hit as a pro fighter, I had to find a reason to get back up. You can use the same philosophy in life. Please, let's welcome the star, Zach Calmus, aka The Shark Attack.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stars in the Making. Today, I'm so excited. We have this BKFC champion from Massachusetts. If you've never seen any underdog stories, today, this is gonna be the one. Please, welcome. How you doing, man?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming to the Stars in the Making.
Absolutely.
Oh man, looking up your story. Wow, you have quite a story. Thank you so much, champ, for being in the Stars in the Making with us. And please introduce yourself and let's get to it.
So I'm Zach Calmus from Gloucester, Massachusetts, 01930. And we're putting this bare knuckle boxing here right on the map where it should be.
Awesome. Let's start it off. I want to start how they started boxing.
I started boxing when I was 17 years old. I had my first sanctioned fight with USA Boxing. And that's, what you do as an amateur. It's 2-minute rounds. You get into it, and you build your experience as a child through that. You learn how to fight. You learn how to throw proper punches. You learn how to spar and work with a team, and that's just a great experience. I highly recommend that. That's the future of our pros, is our amateur system.
Wow, that's amazing, man. I wanted to know about the mind of a fighter like you, and you are a number one, the first one in Massachusetts. It's been 4 years now. Talk to us about how is it in your mind, like why you really started fighting at all?
Well, when I started fighting, it was truly just to lose weight, and it was me against me. I wanted to be a more confident person. I wanted to go out there and be able to talk to women, be able to talk to girls, go after the jobs that I wanted to be associated with and the friends that I wanted to have. And boxing allowed me to go ahead and do that, to really reach my full potential through that. So the confidence that I built by going to the ring, and success breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. They walk hand in hand. So you start doing that, and there it is.
Love it. So just by going through your story, I think, your upbringing, I want you to, let's dig into it.
Okay.
So you said you couldn't even talk at some point. And talk to us about it, because this is what really makes your story as an underdog.
Oh, absolutely. Underdog being somebody that has not suspected to win, but comes through with the win, has to work a little bit harder, but they're a little bit stronger because of it. I don't think because somebody says that you should do something or can't do something doesn't mean that you shouldn't go for it. If you want something in your heart, you have to go after it. I was born, with a speech impediment, and I was in special education, and I had a lisp, a terrible blink in my eye that I couldn't control. And, growing up with those disabilities, it's hard to find your way. It's hard to find your way when you're developing as a kid, going from a kid to a teen to a man. Those are tough years, developmental years in your life, and when you're dealing with disabilities on top of that, it can almost be too much to even handle at a time. So it's just a great blessing that I got through what I did.
Wow, man. You had quite some fights. For you to get to be a pro, how many fights you had to go through?
I went 5-18 as an amateur, so I had 5 wins.
So you started at 18.
No, I started at 17 years old boxing, and I had my first fight, USA Boxing, and I lost. I lost like 5 or 6 fights in a row, and I just still wanted to do it. I knew that the only way out was through. If I'd give up, I'd regret that for the rest of my life. So I just kept going to practice. I kept getting better and better, and eventually I got a win.
Go there again. Something that you said. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's fine.
You say if I don't do that, I would regret for the rest of my life. Wow.
The things that we really want to do in life or say, you know, I think John Mayer, the artist, said, say what you need to say, because eventually your time's going to run out. And if you don't say what you want to say, and you leave cards on the table, if you leave stones unturned, these are all metaphors, you're really going to regret that. You're going to live more time than it even took to accomplish the goal, regretting not going after it, you know. It's as simple as putting one foot in front of the other, you know, like Forrest Gump. Look how he ran across the whole country.
So, overcoming everything that you went through, having problem with speech and everything that you went through. So, how did you get out from there and becoming this fighter, this beast that you are today?
It's a heck of a story.
Is there anything that you remember?
There's a lot of pain that I went through these years, you know, moving around. My learning disabilities put me off at private school in different parts of the country, and at times away from my family. So by 18, my mom had sold the family home, and I kind of had to figure it out on my own. So it was quite a change, quite a shock. But I picked up the pieces, and I am where I am by God's grace. You know, by God's grace, I'm here, and I'm doing very well. But it's hard work. At the end of the day, nobody is going to live your dream for you. If you want to be an auto mechanic, sure, you have to do it. But if there's a will, there's a way. There's people in more desperate situations than I am in that have made it just as far as me, if not further. So I have no excuse. I can't sit there and be weak and say that I can't get there because of him or her. Nobody. No, it's in you. You can do it.
Wow. Oh man, this is beautiful.
Wow.
So
it is beautiful, and I always tell kids that, and I see the look in their eye, and they're like, wow, I just saw this guy fight on TV, and now he's in an hour workout class with me, and he's cool.
oh man,
It must be inspiring, you know?
just seeing you right now that we are speaking now, how calm you are. And in the ring, you were a beast.
Yeah.
I was talking to Shams when he told me about you. I was like, whoa. He was showing me the videos and stuff. You were really a shark. And your name is Shark Attack, nickname, Shark Attack.
Shark Attack.
How that name came from?
Coach Alex Suplavita, the head of USA Boxing, he's the head of the whole program. He coined me the Shark Attack back in the day when I was in the USA Boxing. So I've always been the Shark, but that's my nickname.
Any specific story behind the Shark Attack?
I fight like a shark. I'm cool. I'm a very cool guy. I like to go to movies and watch TV and play video games. But if I get hot, if I get mad,
that's it.
It's like I don't have to be mad to fight. Before the fights, I'm always jovial with guys. I'm cool. I'm a professional. But when I get to the ring, it's a whole different animal. I really am that angry. I'm trying to destroy them.
Wow. And when you say it's a whole different animal, is there any specific thing that you envision when you are fighting?
It's really surreal, the feeling of walking out in front of 15,000 people or in front of the whole world on TV. I don't think much. I'm more just here. I hear everything. I see everything. It's like a hypersense of things. I'm not really thinking anymore. I'm just feeling. So that's very, very important.
Right.
I'm in the moment, and I'm enjoying where I'm at, and I'm happy to be there. I think that's the best part about it. I'm not thinking.
I love that.
I know already what I'm going to do, so
yes.
I might as well enjoy it and make the crowd go crazy.
That's
do
real.
what I do best.
That's amazing. So before we even started, I think you were mentioning about something that you remember about your upbringing. You remember everything that you went through and all that Can you explain a little bit more in detail? Because I think that's very inspiring.
Absolutely. Well, one thing I do remember is when I wanted to start boxing, I went to my mother and I told her I wanted to box, and I was in my teens. And she told me, Zachary, if you want to do that in somebody's ring, you can do that all on your own. And boy, I wish I believed her when she said it, because I figured someday she'd come around, but those people may never come around, whether it's your mother or your father, aunt, uncle, a brother, sister. It doesn't matter if they believe in you, if you believe in yourself. Because I know that might sound some type of way harsh, but it is harsh. It's a cold world, it's a hard world, and if you don't have that belief in yourself and the strength to put one foot in front of the other, then I'm sorry, but you'll never get there. And that's the reality that they won't tell you when you get into things. Whatever it is, you have to want it, you have to go after it, and you have to go after it with a passion. No matter what gets in your way, you have to know it's for you.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. And also you were talking about, I was reading your story. You say you grew up. Let's talk a little bit about bullying. I think back in the day when your upbringing, you deal a little bit with bullying. Because I think this is very insightful for any kid out there who,
Of course. I think bullies, here's the thing that I think a lot of people get misunderstood about bullies. A lot of bullies were kids that had insecurities, that didn't know how to channel that energy. No one was there to help them or teach them. So they go from being the one that's held down, being the one that's bullied, to being the bully usually. And then no one wants to hang out with them because they're just a nasty individual. And it's that nasty kid that turns into a nasty teen, to a nasty adult. So it's important that we break this cycle by not doing it in the first place. I mean, we're all different colors, races, ethnicity, and I think a lot of anger is what they don't realize is just fear. It comes from a place of not knowing and not understanding, not having the brain power, the knowledge to find out where someone's even coming from or what they're talking about.
Wow. And you talk about many people don't know how to channel their anger, whatever they're going through.
Right.
In your case, is there any specific thing that how did you channel that to become this beast?
You know what's crazy is that it's funny that a lot of parents that might be watching or not, just people, understand this, that they might think that if I get my son into wrestling, that they're gonna throw their friends around, they're gonna break their neck, or if I get my son into football, he's gonna break his shoulder, he's gonna get hurt. Listen, he's gonna get hurt anyway. It's a cold world. Bundle up. You might as well get your son or daughter involved with something that has structure, just to have good people, good coaches. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be a bowling team, but get them involved with the community, involved with a good coach, involved with their peers, and they're gonna have a path for their life. I mean, I can't imagine what the last 15 years of my life would have been, 18 to 33, what it would have been like if I didn't have something, a passion, a reason to keep going, a reason to do things the way I do them. I mean, there's so many nights, so many days, so many months, years that I put together, and I'm like, wow, I did things a certain way, and that's where I am where I am.
Wow, man, your story actually reminds me of one of the movie of Rocky Balboa. You are definitely an underdog story. That's the main reason we had to really have you here on Stars in the Making. And one of the things that, according to your story, you lost that gave me chills. You lost three front teeth. And then how that really happened? You said, the guy punched you, but you still keep coming.
I still kept coming.
You kept coming. You did not give up.
No, I never gave up. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter. The physical pain is just one aspect of life. If you can master your mental fortitude, that's gonna trump any physical strength that you could build or that could be taken away from you. It's about knowing who you are, what you've been through, and you know where you're going. So I don't fear any man. And some people say that, but I live it. And what I'm telling you is that I know where I'm going at the end of this. So while I'm here, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And I think that's the only way to live.
Wow.
Boom.
That's amazing, man. And any particular advice that you want to send for upcoming stars, for anyone who's want to try boxing, like a kid, or in any way?
My best advice is to enjoy it. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you won't stick with it. So find ways of enjoying even hard tasks. If you have a long run that you have to do for whatever program you're doing, make sure you take it on a nice road. Right? You see what I'm saying? Like hard work, but on good timing. It's all about timing and doing it your way. Leave your mark, because it's all been done before. Don't copy somebody else. Be yourself. Be original, and you'll find your way. And you'll find your way a lot easier than trying to turtle back on somebody else. Be somebody else.
Beautiful. What a great message, man.
Right? Though it's
Yeah.
very true. You know, people, there's so many copycats in society. They want to be just like what they see. They dress like what they see. Instead of going out and saying, well, you know, I like that.
Be themselves,
Be
right?
themselves.
And we live in a world where everybody's just, as you already said, everybody try to copy everybody else. Nobody want to go on their own way. I think that's a very crucial point.
We're missing that in society.
Right.
Our heroes. Those were our heroes, you know, growing up.
Right. And wow, this is amazing, man. Thank you so much for being here on the Stars in the Making. Now let's talk about what coming next.
Oh, big things. So I just signed into my second 3-fight deal. So I'm locked in with BKFC family. We're gonna have a great year. I fought 3 times this year. It was an active year. I won all 3 fights. 4 knockouts in a row, so I'm 5-2. Moving forward, I'm game for any opponents that I'm gonna fight. You know what I mean? So I just know I got my work cut out for me in a stacked division, and I'm putting in work on the daily. You know, mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm in the best place in my life. I got a solid diet. I got a great chef. I got great coaches. I even have a driver. So we're on top of the world right now, heading into this 3-fight deal where bare knuckle boxing they haven't even had a show in Massachusetts yet, and here I am. I've had 7 fights, so I'm getting experience, and I'm getting veteranized, and I feel great. You know, my health is
Amazing.
strong.
Wow. So before we even end, talk about a little bit about your training.
Okay,
How is your training?
So the big difference that I found with boxing, where I came up with the glove, and bare knuckle boxing, is with bare knuckle boxing, it really is about like the physical toughness of the strength of your body. Like, so you have to bash the sand, you have to bash the bag with no gloves, and build up the calluses and build up your knuckles. See how my knuckles stick out at the end? These two, they're like, I can hit a bag like a man does with gloves, with no glove, and my hands don't cut, I have no damage. But you know, it's a little bit harder to write penmanship, but sacrifices, you know. I have bricks for hands. So.
And how is your training? How strict you are? Your training and diet, like every day.
I wake up at 3 a.m. I run 3.5 miles around the boulevard, Stacy Boulevard in Gloucester. I run back home up on Perkins Street, and that's 3 miles at like 4 a.m. And the gym opens at 5 at the YMCA. So I go in there, they have a nice heavy bag. I think they put it there for me. They put a big heavy bag in there, and it's beautiful. And I hit that for 5 rounds with no gloves, and I do workouts in between. So it's like cardio and lifting and all different workouts in between. And then I get over there and I do my sit-ups, my ab work, and I get on a treadmill and I run 3 more miles, or get on an elliptical machine, hit the steam, maybe jump in the pool. It's just having that facility is the best. So then I go home, I have some lunch, and then by the afternoon I get ready to do it all over again, to have a second session at the gym.
Wow.
So,
Wow, that's brutal.
not only, that's just on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Tuesday and Thursday, I drive to Danbury, Connecticut, in up near New York. It's Danbury, Connecticut. I drive to Champs Boxing Gym, and that's where my coach is. You know, Coach Dave, Champs Boxing, and it's the best boxing gym in Connecticut and New York. And we put in some great work there. And my coach works with me in the morning from like 8 a.m. to about 10:30 or 11, and that's where like we get into the real specifics. You know, Belichick, Tom Brady, in the zone, intense coaching. Zach do this, Zach do this, Zach do that, and I'm learning in that place of work. And that's a 3.5 hour drive. So just making the drive on Tuesday and Thursday to Connecticut is a workout in itself. I drive 7 hours on Tuesday and Thursday, and I work out for 3. So that's 10 hours of work on Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get 3 workouts on those days. Saturday's my sparring day. So I show up to different locations and I fight with the gloves on. I put between 10 to 15 rounds a week in the camp. Lasts 2 months, so 8 weeks of this.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing, man.
It's a brutal, but it's a labor of love.
Yes.
I love doing it.
I love that. Man, again, we up with our time. Thank you so much for being in the Stars in the Making. And just for the last time, do you want to send any shout out to your coaches and all that?
Shout out Champs Boxing. Shout out AJ Galante. Champs of Danbury. I want to shout out my boy, Big Pat Donahue, helping me out in this camp. I want to shout out Shams Ali, my buddy, and my boy Ricardo. I thank you guys for having me on here. Stars in the Making. It's going to be the best. It's going to be the best. Shout out BKFC, David Feldman. We're coming for that next fight. We're working hard. Thank you for everything.
That's it. You heard it. Stars in the Making. We are definitely coming up. It's going to be the best. You heard it from the champ. That's it. So keep believing in yourself. Never, ever, ever give up. As I always say, stay with us. Stars in the Making. Subscribe. All right, we out. Thank you so much, man.
Man, I appreciate it.
All right.